Well, folks, the run of form was never going to last forever, and we have now officially bottled any chance we had of winning the Bundesliga this season. We should still qualify for the Champions League, and I think I really want to win the Europa League, which I don't think is a sentence anyone's ever said before. Hello and welcome to Club 5, part 24 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have the second leg of our Europa League. Is it a quarter-final? It might not be the quarter-final yet. It might be the one before that, against Lille, plus a Bundesliga game against Championship title rival. They're not rivals anymore. Borussia Dortmund. Since you were last with me, we had a little bit of a mini crisis. You saw us struggle a little bit in the last episode, only just beating Schalke in the last 5 minutes and then conceding a late equaliser against Marseille. Well, we followed that up with defeats against last season's champions Borussia Mönchengladbach and our big rivals, because they didn't hire me, Leipzig. And then we lost after extra time against Bayern Munich in the German Cup. I mean, I would say, I said mini crisis, but those three results are against three teams that are all Champions League quality teams. Those two have been in it this season. They'll probably be in it next season. It's not as if we started losing against rubbish teams. We then thumped Lille in the first leg of the second knockout round, so it's not the quarter-final yet, 4-2. We were 2-0 down in that game, but came back to win 4-2. This one is the closest to bottling, though, at home against Nuremberg. Yes, we did rotate, as you can see by who our goal scorers are, because we wanted everyone to be fit for Lille. After those results, we were far enough back to think, right, okay, top priority is Europa League. Fingers crossed, we still will qualify for the Champions League. This is what the Bundesliga looks like. So with, 7 games to go, we're 7 points clear of Bayer Leverkusen. So I think we should be comfortable for a Champions League qualification spot. We're 16 points behind top of the table Bayern, though, so obviously we're not going to win the Bundesliga. But hopefully a Champions League qualification there, and hopefully we book our spot in the quarter-final of the Europa League right now, get another favourable draw, and that becomes number one priority for the season. Because as a lot of people have rightly pointed out in the comments recently, one of the things that's really holding me back on my managerial reputation is the fact that we haven't actually won anything. If we have a look at the things that we've won, over the course of my career, no cups, no leagues, no relegations, 2 promotions, but we've not actually got anything in the trophy cabinet after nearly 10 years now. This is our 10th season. So, or is it the 9th? 9th. It's been a long time to have not won anything, and the Europa League looks like the most winnable thing we've been in since all those times we flirted with the FA Cup back at Fulham. So this is a team we're putting out there for the second leg against Lille. We are going full strength. Obviously, we want to win this competition, so this is going to be our full strength team. We'll rotate a little bit for the league games and just hopefully not mess up so much that we don't qualify for the Champions League. We have got a little bit of a problem in the attacking midfield position. Matthews is suspended. Vital is injured. Neither of them are going to be a long-term problem. Matthews will be back next match. Vital will be back in a week. But it does mean that for today, we're going to play Janicic as our attacking midfielder. I did toy with playing Okafor there and maybe sticking Canoni out on the left wing, but thought just purely for experience, Janicic, we know he's dangerous from attacking positions. I think Malloy and Murray is a very good central midfield, so we're not losing anything in the central midfield by moving Janicic further forward. So we'll start with this and change it if we need to. So we're going with Meyer in goal, a back four of Friedel, Emmanuel, Schuster and Toma, with Malloy and Murray in midfield, Okafor, Janicic and Rocky in behind, Liam Thorne, who still hasn't been called up into the England squad because there's no justice in the world. Let's put on a show. What we don't want to do is what we did in the first leg and go 2-0 down early on. Away from home, it was scary, but then we went and scored 4 away goals, so it wasn't as scary. If they go and hit us with 2 away goals early on, it suddenly opens the tie up again massively. So let's assertively say, we cannot allow complacency to undo the good work of that first leg. Certainly the second half of the first leg, we were magnificent. But I don't know why we started so poorly. I think it's because we were off the back of those consecutive defeats and our heads had started to drop just a little bit and we needed an inspirational shout, show some passion from the touchline. We gave them 10 minutes of passion, and it turned the game around. But hopefully we want to score first here. They've got a corner. That's not so good. We need to score some goals. We want to win the match. Rocky and Okafor already on bookings. That's the issue. That's the worrying thing with European football. Obviously, we do have a tendency to collect quite a lot of bookings. It's just how we roll. So I think suspensions, as we've seen today with Matthews, suspensions, if we do continue on a Europa League run, are going to become an issue with Murray, Rocky and Okafor now all picking up yellow cards. We could be hit with further suspensions in the next round, and the deeper we get into this, the better the opposition's going to get, the less we can afford to have players suspended. There you go. We'll just calmly say, ignore the scoreboard, just go and try and win the game. Because we are comfortable. We're so comfortable that we've not even packed out the stadium, which is surprising, really, for quite a big European game. I would expect there to be more interest than apparently there is. There's 2,000 people who just haven't bothered. I hope they're Lille fans. I hope there's 2,000 empty seats at the away end, because if we've got 2,000 of our fans who just aren't bothered, perhaps I've got my priorities wrong. Thorne out to Okafor. Okafor plays it back over the top to Thorne. Thorne should score. Hits it. He took it a little bit wide, made the angle too difficult for himself, hit it straight into the keeper. Murray, back to Toma. Toma to Okafor. Okafor back off the crossbar. And we've certainly started the second half a little bit livelier than we ended the first half. I want a time when we do our 10 minutes of passion. I mean, we've controlled the game. Lille have only had one shot so far and they missed, but it's been fairly even for possession, and I would very much like us to score a goal now. Rocky hits it straight at the keeper. Right, we're going to do 10 minutes of passion now. Come on, lads. They're all fired up, apart from Malloy and Janicic, who are just, I'm comfortable. I'm all right. I don't need to get too passionate. Everyone's kind of... We did like 6 minutes of passion there. That's not quite what the doctor ordered. Right. So many yellow cards. Cannoni's going to come on for Rocky. Janicic, understandably not playing particularly well, but we don't really have anyone who can come on and play there. So I think Janicic is just going to have to stay on. Murray can come off for Rodriguez, and that will do for now. Janicic is just going to have to suck it up. He's our captain. He is one of the better players at the club. He's just going to have to play out of position for another 15 minutes and not mess up. There's probably an argument for dropping him back into a midfield three and not worrying about being too attacking, but I know if there's 15 minutes left and they need to score 4 goals, or no, three goals if we don't score, but obviously, I don't want to invite them to do it. I'd just rather carry... A 0-0 is better than us losing, so let's just carry on controlling the game and not scoring if we have to. Toma does exactly what I asked, continues to control the game, but doesn't score. I mean, he can hear me. He knows that's what I wanted. Final substitution. What are we going to do? We're looking at fitness levels. Friedel could do with coming off, but we don't have a left back on the bench. We could probably take off Liam Thorpe. Florian Stein, I don't think I've played him in about 2 years. Well, there you go, I haven't. I played him a little bit when I first arrived. He was out on loan all year last year and haven't played him at all this year. I don't want to bring him on. We've got in this pickle again. Let's just bring him on anyway. I am going to bring him on for Janicic. If he can play there, let's just get him in there for Janicic. For 10 minutes, let Janicic have his little rest. And you never know, Stein might be about to make himself a star. He played a full season in the Bundesliga last year, admittedly for a team that got relegated, but you never know, he might be awesome. He's still quite young. I don't know why I keep scratching my face. Leave your face alone, Kev. It's nerves. I'm worried that we could still find a way to get knocked out of this competition. And then I'm equally worried about who we might get in the next round, because there's a lot of rubbish left in this, like us, but there's still 1 or 2 good teams. And obviously, we want to save the good teams for the final, or hope that they knock each other out along the way and we end up against someone equally rubbish. Okafor's just put the cherry on top. 1-0 to Hamburg on the night, 5-2 on aggregate. That's important for no other reason than it allows us to get back to winning ways again. We want to win in all of our matches. I think our little dodgy spell started when we only drew against Marseille in the second leg of the last round, because until then we'd won every game for like 2.5 months. We were used to winning games, and then we realised it was possible not to win them, and that's not a realisation I want us to have. Arsenal Juventus looks very tight. 2-2 on the night, 4-4 on aggregate. If there's a way for them to both get knocked out, I'm all for that. if we can find a way for that. I mean, I think they should be told, if we can't have a winner, you're both out. Change the rules of the Europa League just for this season. And we are through to the next round, boys and girls. I'm not going to get too excited. I am happy with the result. We did play well. I'm glad we didn't need a big performance because we absolutely didn't get one. So Arsenal are out on penalties to Juventus. Any other big teams out? No, because there's Tottenham. Tottenham are out. I don't know why I'm picking on Tottenham. Oh, we started yesterday. I'm just going to keep picking on Tottenham. I'm not. Tottenham are lovely. I'll probably end up managing them next. Porto are out. Roma are out. Sporting Lisbon are out. Valencia are out. It does feel like this competition is opening up. Watch us get Juventus in the next round now. And we're going to have to draw for that next round now. Continuing with what I was talking about during the game, Janicic is now suspended for the next game in this competition. So it's going to keep happening. And we've been put in the rubbish group. There's 8 teams left, as varied as Juventus and Lazio, who are good, Hamburg and Bordeaux, who are not good. So we're considered, in a competition that's full of trash, one of the trashiest pieces of trash. So that's nice. Let's just avoid Juventus. That's the important thing. So Stuttgart will play Juventus. Job done. Don't care who we get now. I think we can beat anyone else left in this competition. Lazio will face Hamburg. I think we can take Lazio. Lazio are mid-table, I think. The Lazio job was available earlier in the season. I didn't even apply because they were mid-table. And I thought, you know what? Not bothered. So I think it's the only team in the world I've snubbed. So hopefully I'm not going to live to regret that. And I still maintain this competition is opening up for us. So we'll obviously play Dortmund now, and then we'll do the same thing again in tomorrow's episode where we'll do the second leg against Lazio and probably Bayern, because they're the ones who are in 5th place. So it's actually a bigger game than Bayern Munich, who we'll lose to. So let's go and lose to Dortmund and then get on with Lazio tomorrow. Well, this is an interesting development. I'll go to the interview. I'm not going to get excited, and unless they can offer me a crazy amount of money, I'm not interested either, because they're below us in the league, and they're probably going to finish below us in the league this year, unless we bottle it. I mean, they're way down, in fact. I'll go to the interview. Not excited about it, though. I know I said I'd rotate in the league, but I just can't bring myself to against the bigger teams. We have to secure a Champions League spot. We've got a big enough squad now to compete on multiple fronts, maybe. We've had to make a couple of changes. Kowalski comes in for Friedel. Janicic has dropped back down into midfield. So Malloy's dropped down to the bench with Matthews coming back into the team. But other than that, it's a very similar team to one that played in the last game. And hopefully we'll be fine. If not, how good are Lazio? I think that's the thing we've all got to how good are Lazio? Should I be afraid? Right. Good luck. Go out and pull off an upset. The good old upset, good luck team talk, never fails. Apart from all those times it fails. But hopefully it won't fail today, because a win here would... I won't say a win here will secure us a Champions League spot, because obviously it doesn't. But a win here goes an awfully long way to getting us over the line for a Champions League spot. It would put us on 55 points, 9 points clear of Bayern. I mean, that's 9 points clear with 6 games to go. You've got to be feeling confident at that point. However, if that drops down to 6 points clear with 6 games to go, I'm less confident. The form we've been in the league recently, Rocky, puts us 1-0 up after 10 minutes, though. The second half of this season has really been the emergence of Manuel Rocky. I think he's another example of one of those players who just could not cope until he learnt to speak the language. It took him a long time to learn German. We had to send him on a second intensive language course. But since he's actually learnt to speak German, and I don't know if this is even a thing that's in the game, but we do see it time and time again, so I think it probably is. Until he learnt to speak German, he wasn't any good. We signed him as a replacement for Adley. He was supposed to come in ahead of Chaton in this team, and for the last year and a half, Chaton's been my first choice, no questions asked. Second half of this season, they're basically as good as each other, and I kind of rotate them, although recently I've been favouring Rocky, mainly because he's been playing really well, as he's shown again there. Emmanuel now, we're just knocking the ball around nicely at the back, playing it all the way forward to Kowalski, who plays it into Okafor. He's got space to run into, finds Rocky, Thorns in the middle, but Rocky goes it alone and scores again. And on the half-hour mark, it's Hamburg 2, Dortmund 0, and it's 2 goals for Rocky, and he has been superb. My word. I mean, it is a beautiful pass from Okafor. Let's not give all the credit to Rocky. This is stunning from Okafor. It's perfectly weighted. But Rocky still has a lot to do. And 4 easier options in the middle there. If he wasn't in such good form, I would be furious at him for even attempting that, because obviously 9 times out of 10, he's hitting that into the goalkeeper from there, and he should be squaring it to the players lining up for the tap-in. But he's in such good form and is so confident that he scored it. So that's nice, that's good. I enjoyed that. And I'm enjoying looking at that league table, because I'm feeling pretty comfortable about next season at this point. The Leverkusen interview, by the way, they didn't discuss money with me. So I said to them, if I decide to come to you, it won't be until the end of the season. I'm not going immediately. So we are definitely going to see out the season with Hamburg. And if they then offer me a much bigger budget than Hamburg offer me, then I might go. But I don't know that I would move on to... I think if I was going to go to another German club, it would be one of the big 2. And Bayern have turned me down so many times, I don't think it's going to be them. So I am thinking our next step, if it doesn't end up being Hamburg, and like we said yesterday, we could end up finishing this series off with Hamburg if we have a good summer this summer. Because back-to-back Champions League qualifications, you're not a million miles away then from being able to... Once you've mastered qualifying for it every year, 2-3 years down the line, you should be in a position to win it. That's my experience with Football Manager. So, maybe... Oh, what's just happened? Kowalski. We don't have a left-back on the bench, apparently. Can Armstrong play that? I find it hard to... But I think Emmanuel can play it. Or was it Gomez? I know one of the 2 who we signed last summer could play left-back. It's not Emmanuel. Can Butgerite play at left-back? Yeah, you can come on. Butgerite can come on at left-back. At least we've got a bit of Butgerite back in the team again. Did we not make the other changes? I'm sure we made 2 changes before. Didn't we bring... I thought we brought Malloy on. How has that not gone through? Now Janicic is shattered. There we go. I'm sure we made that change a minute ago. Football Manager's messing with me. We've comfortably beaten Borussia Dortmund, by the way. Just going to throw that out there. Rocky's looking for his hat-trick. Plays it across to Okafor. Okafor straight at the keeper. Could argue was fouled straight afterwards. But... we didn't need the penalty anyway. We can beat them without a penalty. We've got 57,000 in here today, so actually we had 4,000 missing for the Lille game. I thought we had a 55,000 capacity, unless we have, and there's people like stood on the roof. Maybe, I don't know. Or is it one of those fancy German stadiums that has different capacities in the league to in Europe because it's got the safe standing areas? Is Hamburg a ground with safe standing stuff? It might be. It feels like the sort of ground that would have it. So let's passionately say that was superb. I think we're all but qualified for next season's Champions League now. If we look at our run-in, once we get past these next couple of games, we have a relatively easy last 3 games, which will hopefully allow us to focus on the Europa League if we carry on in it. But we're definitely going to be doing second leg of Lazio and Bayer Leverkusen in tomorrow's video. And hopefully booking a spot in the Europa League semi-final. If we are going to leave Hamburg this season, we want to leave with a trophy. It's about time we won something. If you have enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.